You're a whack job.
Senator,
You are
wasting.
Well, I think we are.
Next level whack job.
I think we are.
Is this middle school, Senator?
Senators and witness. Thank you both.
I think you should apologize, Senator.
I think, Senator, you're wasting our time. This is not middle school.
Thank you for your participation. I will say that Senator Smith is next. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Why do you think the crypto industry is buying Senator Gillibrand?
I said, look at the campaign contributions from this industry.
You think they've bought her?
No, I said, look at the campaign
You
contributions.
said they bought her. Do you think they
Senator,
bought her?
you need to focus on this bill instead of trying to distort my Twitter.
You called one of my colleagues
were quoting
a crook,
what a Marxist in Chicago said
and
about
what evidence do you
make
have
no
that she's
sense.
a crook?
I said there is massive amount of campaign contributions coming into this Congress from the crypto industry.
Do you want to apologize to Senator Gillibrand?
I do not want you to have to apologize for passing legislation
Do you want to
that
apologize
destroys
to
our
Senator
economy.
Gillibrand for calling her
You
a
are
crook?
distorting what I said, just like you did in the last hearing. You're wasting everybody's time, Senator.
You're a whack job.
Senator,
You are
wasting.
Well, I think we are.
Next level whack job.
I think we
Is
are.
this middle school, Senator?
Senators and witness. Thank you both.
I think you should apologize, Senator.
I think,
Gillibrand.
Senator, you're wasting our time. This is not middle school.
Thank you for your participation. I will say that Senator Smith is next. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We were founded more than a decade ago with a mission to enable the Internet of Value, a world where money moves like information does today. We build software products that power cross-border payments, stablecoins, and digital custody. Ripple helps financial institutions reduce friction, unlock efficiencies, and serve their customers better. These are not abstract concepts. We work every day with banks that rely on our technology to deliver real results in the global economy. Ripple leverages the XRP ledger, a decentralized, battle-tested, open-source blockchain, as well as its native digital asset, XRP, to facilitate payments. XRP is built to enable fast, low-cost, and highly scalable transactions. From the start, Ripple made the deliberate choice to work with policymakers and regulators, not around them. We have taken a compliance-first approach, operating with over 60 payment, service, crypto, and money transmitter licenses domestically and globally. With regard to the topic of this hearing, we believe smart legislation should be based on several core principles. Consumers need protection from fraud and scams. Markets need proper oversight. Bad actors need to be kept in check. And innovation must thrive. A constructive and workable framework for digital assets and stablecoins that achieves these goals will expand access to financial markets, create jobs, strengthen the economy, and put the U.S. on the path to being a global blockchain and crypto leader. For the last decade, the legal and regulatory uncertainty surrounding crypto has prohibited meaningful progress in the U.S. At Ripple, we certainly saw firsthand how the lack of clear rules of the road can be weaponized to target good actors. In turn, the technology, jobs, and tax dollars that go with it are pushed offshore, reducing regulatory oversight and putting consumers at higher risk. This has severely harmed American businesses, investors, and of most concerned, consumers. Ripple was the tip of the spear for this regulation by enforcement campaign and was subject to an enforcement action in 2020. We were the first leading U.S. company to be sued by the SEC. We and many others understood that a loss here would be a death knell for the industry. Fortunately, after 4 years of a hard-fought legal battle, we prevailed. The court ruled in our favor on everything that mattered.
Just a few weeks ago, the Senate passed the bipartisan GENIUS Act, the soon-to-be first federal framework for payment stablecoins. GENIUS is the first step towards revolutionizing the financial system and updating our payment systems, and will secure U.S. global's dollar dominance for decades and decades to come. It's also a win for consumer protection and for national security. But passing GENIUS is more than just a legislative win. It's a testament to what's possible when Congress works together and puts principles before partisan politics. We can deliver actual results for the American people. From day one, I've promised under my leadership here at the Banking Committee that we would return to what we call regular order and deliver real results for the American people. With the Genius Act, we did just that. And now we have an opportunity and a chance to build on that success. Today's hearing is the first for full committee hearing on digital assets. This is a crucial step toward developing a comprehensive framework that gives innovators the clarity they need and gives investors the protections they deserve. Because make no mistake, blockchain technology and digital assets are not going away. They are here to stay. The question we should ask ourselves is whether the United States will lead in shaping the future of digital finance, or whether we'll let other countries like Singapore and the UAE set the standards while American jobs and innovation leaves our shores. Principles for market structure legislation. Principles that recognize the need to clarify and clearly define what is a commodity, what is a security, and how digital assets can trade and be custodied in a way that fosters innovation while protecting investors. We don't need more roadblocks. We need rules that actually work. That means legislation that will, number one, clearly define which tokens are securities. 2, supports modern trading infrastructure. 3, ensures appropriate illicit finance protections are in place. And 4, protects investors while fostering innovation. And let's set the record straight. Crypto isn't lawless. It's traceable. In fact, crypto companies are helping law enforcement track illicit activity with greater precision than traditional finance allows. The data shows that more illegal activity still happens with cash than with crypto. Today, we'll hear from a strong panel about what's working, what's broken, and what reforms are needed. This is not about scoring political points. It's about protecting investors, rewarding innovation, and ensuring that the next generation of financial technology is made in America. Let's seize this opportunity together and deliver clarity, consistency, and leadership the American people deserve.
Ripple has always been a compliance-first company, and as I said in my early testimony, we have over 60 licenses around the world. That being said, I think anytime you see bad actors, they're looking for, as Mr. Levin said, whatever the easiest path is. They use cash, they use other assets. I've even read about them using gold.
Yeah.
So certainly they're also experimenting and trying to use digital assets. I think the good news has been, in many cases, they don't often understand how traceable and trackable that actually is, and it's more trackable than obviously cash.
Yeah, but we're still seeing the anonymization tools being utilized, and again, a lot of that is after the fact. The difficulty, I mean, we saw North Korea right in front of the world be able to hack and take billions of dollars. We can see them moving around, but we had difficulty to be able to actually intervene. I don't discount the fact that we're never going to be able to stop it all. We can't stop it with cash. I think the problem that I see is that I used to work on counter-terrorist financing, and the sheer scale of this is enormous. It's an industrialization of North Korea's ability. They don't need to counterfeit anymore. They're finding ways to be able to do this. So I just hope that we can work together with industry, because I believe that industry doesn't want to have crypto be able to utilized in this way. I worry about the trajectory, what it might do to evade sanctions and other types of efforts. And, this is something that, I hope that we can address, especially when we're talking about over $50 billion just last year being used for illicit actors in this space. So I hope that this is something we can build off from. We had some efforts in this in a bipartisan way in the Genius Act. And, I hope that we can make this a priority to make sure that we're trying to stop the terrorist groups, the cartels that we have talked about standing up against in so many different ways.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher, and I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. Also, go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And we have John Kennedy always will come with the comedy. But guys, we know he's playing the Hegelian dialectic. Don't forget, he was at the Louisiana State Treasury for 17 years before becoming a senator in 2017. And he was a Democrat, but he kept getting beat, so he switched to Republican. And he is definitely a comedian inside of Congress. We know all of them are actors. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. And we have Brad Garlinghouse stuck to the script, the same talking points. Crypto will strengthen the economy, but needs guardrails. And of course, the United States is behind, but we know the United States is behind on purpose. All of our major crypto projects do most of their business overseas, and you don't hear Trump saying, if you don't come back to the United States, you can't do business. You don't hear any of that coming from the president when it comes to these crypto companies, because crypto is global. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. And we have Senator Scott says blockchain and crypto is here to stay. And we have a new financial system that is months away before it becomes effective, and the sheep have no clue. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. And Brad Garlinghouse speaks about the criminals. Blockchain makes it trackable. And when Bitcoin and crypto came on the scene, that was a whole narrative. It's only used for criminals. And that gave the big banks and big corporations time to build. And now the narrative is going to switch. And they're going to tell the people how much money they can save them. And they're going to dangle that carrot. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. And we have Senator Loomis on crypto companies going public. All the money is coming to these companies, but again, the big banks and big corporations were funding crypto from the beginning. And these same crypto companies that are going public, only thing you have to do is look at the funding rounds. It's the same big banks, same big corporations. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. And we have Trump back at it with these tariffs. And like I told you, he's going to ride these tariffs inside the fourth industrial revolution. Now he's getting back at Brazil. Starting August 1st, they may get a 50% tariff. And we know that's all about the Brics. The Brics is now showing back up. And don't forget, he told us the Brics were gone. I told them I would give them a 100% tariff, and all of a sudden they disappeared. Guys, we know that is definitely not true. But you can tell the sheep anything. And you're not going to get one reporter that tries to question him. Everybody is paid off. Just paid puppets. And right now, when you talk about the Brics, you're looking at over 10 countries. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Iran, and the UAE. You're talking about majority of the population. The United States is clearly on an island, isolated on purpose. And when America to Babylon falls, no one, and I mean no one, is going to feel sorry for America. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. And we have NVIDIA hits $4 trillion market cap, and it benefited off the manipulation of yield rates. Remember, we went down over 25 basis points of that 10-year yield, like the Fed made a cut, but the Fed didn't make any cut. And NVIDIA last year profited about $74 billion. And their valuation is at $4 trillion. We know those numbers do not add up. Even if you're forecasting better than expected sales, there's no way you get to $4 trillion. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. And we have ex-CEO Linda Yaccarino stepping down. And before she took the job, we heard her plenty of times at the World Economic Forum. So we definitely need to keep an eye on her and see where she lands. We know the NWO moves those same pieces. And then we have the adversaries like China buying up farmland. Don't forget, guys, when Trump was in office the first time, China was buying up land then. So this is nothing new. We know America is for sale. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. Because he knows. When it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
We now see one digital asset company not only make an appearance on the S&P 500, but come into the S&P 500 in about the 135th position. That's how big this company is. We see several companies going public this year that are based in the digital asset industry. Yet we've seen foreign countries get ahead of the United States in terms of establishing a clear regulatory framework for digital assets. We have allowed regulatory agencies that are unfriendly toward this asset to use regulatory functions such as enforcement actions to bring about a regulatory morass for these industries when they've been unable to find out what regulatory framework they're supposed to follow, not having received clear guidance from the regulatory agencies to which they're subject and hope to comply. So we finally have an industry coming and requesting regulation, so we know the rules of the road, so we can integrate this tremendous new technology into our economy. And so the time has come, and Mr. Chairman, I'm so pleased that you recognize the relevance, importance of the United States leading in this space.
Another tariff letter from the president, this one with the highest rate we have seen so far. Megan Casella has a story for us. Hi, Megan.
Absolutely. Another letter has been posted on Truth Social. The president writing to the leader of Brazil, saying that he's imposing a 50% tariff on all imports coming in from Brazil as soon as August 1st, unless the country strikes some sort of a deal before then. Now, this letter, guys, is a little bit different from any of the ones that we've seen so far. For one, Brazil was not previously supposed to face a reciprocal tariff, a country-specific tariff. As of April, they only had the blanket 10% tariff. They weren't on the original list. Now that jumps to 50%. And at the end of the letter, the president also says that he's instructing his U.S. trade representative to launch a Section 301 investigation into all imports coming in from Brazil. That's a type of trade remedy that means there might be harm due to Brazil's imports. That's what the investigation will be looking into. It's the same statute the president used in his first term to impose steep tariffs against China. So it's a longer process, but a little bit more legally rigorous, and those tariffs might be able to stay in place for longer. I will say for Brazil, they're in our top 20 trading partners, they're about 18th or so based on the latest data. About 1.3% of all U.S. imports come in from Brazil. So a 50% tariff would be steep for that. It's not the biggest trading partner, but one of the biggest that we've seen so far with all of these letters, guys.
Do we have any sense, at least yet, Megan, on how much that tariff and this idea of these Section 301 tariffs, which are tied to national security, might have to do with the growing relationship between Brazil and China?
Brics was set up to degenerate our dollar and take our dollar as the standard, take it off as the standard. And that's okay if they want to play that game, but I can play that game too. So anybody that's in Brics is getting a 10% charge.
Is that immediate, sir? Or is
yeah,
that
pretty soon.
If they engage in some behavior?
Well, if they're a member of Brics, they're going to have to pay 10% tariff just for that one thing. And they won't be a member long. I thought Brics was, you know, I said this about a year ago, and it largely broke up. But, you know, there are a couple that hang around, but I thought it largely broke up. Brics is not, in my opinion, not a serious threat. But what they're trying to do is destroy the dollar so that another country can take over and be the standard. And we're not going to lose the standard at any time. If you have a smart president, you will never lose the standard. If you have a stupid president like the last one, you would lose the standard. You wouldn't have the dollar as you. And if we lost the world standard dollar, that would be like losing a war, a major world war. We would not be the same country any longer. We're not going to let that happen. The dollar, you ever hear the expression, dollar is king? The dollar is king. We're going to keep it that way, okay? And I'm just saying, if people want to challenge it, they can, but they're going to have to pay a big price. And I don't think any of them are willing to pay that price.
That's sort of incredible if you think about it, thinking about what still levels of uncertainty exist in the market. I think that ultimately we're in a market where bad news doesn't sell off and good news puts us forward. And even though 90 days and 90 days and 90 deals has become 3 months and 3 handshakes, there still seems to be this sense that all of the rhetoric coming out of the Trump administration is still escalate to de-escalate.
Well, look, it's the evolution of hardware. It is, if it were just AI, generative AI, that'd be one thing, but it's accelerated computing. People don't give that enough credit. And I think this time is not software time. It's not Exxon's time. It's the idea that we have leader of the world.
What's very different about this earnings season to me is I can't remember a quarter, last quarter, where basically companies could say, guidance? I don't know, guidance? What am I going to do with guidance? And the market was like, okay, yeah, we're fine with that. Think of how insane that is, considering what markets have been doing. And it made sense at the time, but I don't know that these companies are going to get a pass this time around.
Hey, that's right. Linda Yaccarino announcing she's stepping down as CEO of X after 2 years in the role, posting this news on X. Now, she didn't give any reason for her departure, but she wrote, "I'm immensely grateful to Elon Musk for entrusting me with the responsibility of protecting free speech, turning the company around, and transforming X into the everything app." Now, Musk just replied on X saying, "Thank you for your contributions."
Series, China, from buying up American farmland.
American agriculture is not just about feeding our families, but about protecting our nation and standing up to foreign adversaries who are buying our farmland, stealing our research, and creating dangerous vulnerabilities in the very systems that sustain us. Reshoring and nearshoring our food and agriculture supply chain is essential for our nation's security.
Currently, China owns farmland in more than half of the country, spanning more than 275,000 acres.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box, provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books, It's Time to Re-Educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.